is like my favorite holiday ever. Should I try? Eat, drink, and be Irish. I'm not going to drink today, but I am going to eat a lot. See my cool hat? It's pretty cool, huh? Right? Kiss me, I'm Irish. I'm not. My husband is very Irish. Today is St. Patrick's Day, and we are gonna have a party! St. Patrick's Day! Why do I love St. Patrick's Day so much? Well, let me tell you. My husband's Irish. I love St. Patrick's Day. My husband is Irish, and because he's a Fleming, Irish, I started getting into the Irish holiday and really wanted to make it special for Tavin. Decided that it wasn't going to be like a daily thing. Like, I made a whole week out of St. Patrick's Day. It was like a whole week. You know, I made a whole bunch of food. I do the plowman's platter. Die for! Seriously, you don't want your life to be without the plowman's platter. My husband makes an amazing Guinness cake. Now, I got a couple stories to tell you about St. Patrick's Day. Just stick with me. They're good. They're good stories. They're amazing stories. They're heartfelt story. You know, forget posting, cats, freaking out over a cucumber. These are real heartfelt, true life stories. Okay? Share these stories today, not a cat eating a clover. My very first year with my husband, his father asked us over to his apartment for an Irish meal, corned beef and cabbage, which isn't really an Irish meal, which today is corned beef and cabbage day in America, not in Ireland. They don't eat corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day. I'll get back to that. So we went over to my husband's apartment, my husband's father's apartment, and decided that we were going to have this Irish meal. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's Irish. Like, this is probably going to be the best Irish food I've ever had. They were potatoes and deli corned beef. And I don't even think it was deli corned beef. I think it was that Budwig, that nasty, disgusting 35-cent packaged meat. That was the corned beef that we had with roasted potatoes. There wasn't even any cabbage. There wasn't even any Irish soda bread. It was potatoes and Budwig nasty corned beef deli meat. So I got really upset and I decided that's it. My mom could kick butt. Like the other day would have been her day because she could kick butt on a corned beef. This inspired me. That experience inspired me to never have an Irish holiday without good food. This is coming from a guy who used to be a chef in New York City. Really? You're giving me deli corned beef meat? That's not even really from the deli. It's from Budwig. It's like fake meat. Corned beef and cabbage, it became like this thing. And so the next day, I told Jared on the way home on the subway, because we lived in Chicago back then, and I said, oh, you wait. I'm going to show you what corned beef and cabbage is like. And Jared's like, I don't like that. Well, yeah, if that's what you've been eating all your life is Budwig corned beef and roasted potatoes, you don't know corned beef and cabbage, pal. So that night, we went to the grocery store and I bought all the fixings for corned beef and cabbage. Okay, so I made it for him the next day and he just about died. He didn't realize how much he loved corned beef and cabbage and potatoes. He didn't even know, poor guy, and he's Irish. Not that that matters, because the Irish don't eat corned beef and cabbage on St. Patty's Day. Let me give you a little history about St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, up until 1962 in Ireland, they didn't even open a pub. It wasn't a drinking holiday like it is here in America. America, you Americanize things and you just ruin things. You just ruin it. You just take it and you blow it out of proportion and you make it into something silly and stupid. St. Patrick's Day is like a very, very cool, incredible religious holiday in Ireland. In fact, they still close schools for this holiday. It's so important to them in Ireland. They just recently, and like I said, in 1962, opened the pubs to the public. Because it used to be, you didn't drink on that day. This is a sacred holiday in Ireland. Because he was Saint Patrick. Saint Patrick. Not drunk Patrick. Not, I'm going to dye the river green Patrick. It wasn't, I'm going to douse myself in green Patrick. No, saint. Do you know what the word saint means? Godly. You don't have to do anything but just love Jesus to be a saint. You're a saint. But he was considered a saint in his time. But anyways, he's not even from Ireland. He was from England. And some pirates came over and kidnapped him and brought him to Ireland and made him a slave. And he was a Christian. And one day he escaped, went back home, and realized that he was going to go back and teach those heathens in Ireland what Christ was all about. He was going to go save them. Salvation. I just had to teach Tevin what the word saved means. It comes from the word salvation. Knowing Jesus, being redeemed, being born again. So Patrick, well, that wasn't even his real name. His real name was Maewyn Saccott. Let me spell that for you. Maewyn. M-A-E-W-Y-N. Last name S-U-C-C-A-T. Saccott. Maewyn. Not Patrick. Sweet. His name's not even Patrick. Happy St. Maewyn Saccott Day. So Maewyn went back to Ireland and decided that he was going to teach the Irish, these heathens, these evil heathens who kidnapped him, about Jesus. He went back, people. He went back and tried to teach these people about Jesus, the very people who enslaved him. He was a slave. He was beaten. He was treated like a slave, but he didn't complain about it. He didn't ask for money. He didn't blame anybody. He went back to the very people who enslaved him and loved them. Oh my God, can you imagine that? He went back to those very same people and used a clover, a three-leaf clover, and he used it to teach them about the Trinity of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Ireland is a very religious country, although they fight with each other because some are Catholics and some are Protestant, and for years that was like a major battle. Wars happened over, which religion was right. So in Ireland, their traditions are much different than ours. They go to church. They get up early, they put on their Sunday bests, and they go to church. They don't go to the bar at 9 o'clock in the morning and drink green beer. I take this holiday much more seriously that I know the history of it. It's simple as kids to go, St. Patrick's Day, everything is green, and we're going to wear funny hats, and we're just going to wear green all day, and kiss me, I'm Irish, and pinch me, blah, 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 blah. To be Irish, if you really are Irish, lamb stew or fish. That's what they eat. It's not corned beef and cabbage, folks. I'm sorry. Even though today is Corned Beef and Cabbage Day here in America, it is not Corned Beef and Cabbage Day in Ireland. It's Lamb Stew Day and Go to Church Day, Be Godly Day, Celebrate a Saint Day. You know what? The way he was treated, Maewyn, he was treated terribly for years and years and years. But he forgave, and he moved on, and he came back, be merry, and have some corned beef and cabbage. It's okay. That's what I'm having today, corned beef and cabbage. I am making corned beef and cabbage. This is an important holiday. And then Jared makes a Guinness cake. Now, this is another true story. My mom, God rest her soul, she'll be gone, oh my goodness, 4 years now. Before she died, she came over for St. Patrick's Day. It was one of the best memories that I have of my mother is on St. Patrick's Day, the year that she died. It was just 2 months before she passed away. She came to peace with what was happening to her. She was re-diagnosed with breast cancer, and she was given 3 years. They had extended, she had gone past the 3 years, and they thought that she would make it until December. So she went and planned her funeral and everything. I mean, she was just so at peace at what was happening to her. And on St. Patrick's Day, she told me that. And it was a beautiful day, one that I will never, ever forget for as long as I live. So on the St. Patrick's Day, my husband made his famous Guinness cake, which is just unbelievable. Nigella Larson, or whatever her name is, Nigella. My mom got a bite of this cake. She's not really a chocolate person either. She's not a cakey person. You know, she's never really been one for sweets. But boy, this woman mowed down the cake and then started bragging to everybody about how good this cake was. Yes, I'm going to post the recipe because you get everything for free. I'm going to post the recipe for Jared's famous Guinness cake. And you want to make it in a bundt pan. And then when the cake comes out, you want to take all the yummy stuff on the bottom of the pie, the bundt cake pan. Don't mess around. And then a homemade buttercream frosting. Yum. I said, well, here, take some cake home. Oh, I'm not going to eat that much. She ate it in one sitting. We gave her half the cake. So then she requested another cake, so we made her a whole one. And she says, oh, I'm not going to eat all that. She did. She ate it all. Every last bit. And enjoyed it. You know what? You only live once. And that is proof. She died 2 months later. And she enjoyed it eating Guinness cake. Okay? So, nutrition, cake, vegetables, cake. There's your balance. All right. So, go and celebrate this holiday the way it's meant to be celebrated. Celebrate God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus. That's what this holiday is about. I'm sorry. Atheists, you watching this? I know you're going, no way, I'm going to drink beer. Go for it. I don't care. But those of you who know God, this is not about that. It is about Jesus. It's about a man who overcame such harsh life, went back to the very people who beat him and enslaved him, forgave them, and then gave them the gift of salvation. How about that today? How about as a gift for St. Patrick's Day, we give someone the gift of salvation? God bless you. God bless Mywin Suckett. Not Suckett. Sakai. Bloopers! Take 10, St. Patrick's Day. Go enjoy it. Eat some corned beef and cabbage. I don't care. Make some Irish soda bread. Have some Guinness cake. Kids can even have it, you know, because once the alcohol is cooked out, it's go enjoy. Celebrate today. Celebrate St. Patrick and all that he represents and stands for. Not just the religious side of it, but overcoming slavery, overcoming the harshness and people that have hurt you. Give them the gift of Jesus, of life, of goodness, of hope, of love, just like he did. All right, God bless you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime girl. See you later. God bless you. Celebrate today.